Finding a solid offline game in 2025 is like trying to find Wi-Fi in the middle of nowhere. You think it's there, but it isn't. Most offline titles either look outdated or play like shovelware. So I dug deep and pulled out 10 offline games that actually deserve space on your phone. And before we start, hit that like button faster than you rage quit Flappy Bird. It helps way more than you think. If lag's been ruining your matches in mobile or PC, listen up, Exitlag is here to save your win streak. Exitlag is the ultimate AI-powered app built to optimize your connection, so your mobile games run smoother than ever. Forget random spikes, disconnects, or packet loss. Exitlag routes your connection through the fastest paths with its multipath tech, giving you stable, responsive gameplay anywhere in the world. Here's the deal. With just a tap, you get lower ping, a more stable connection, and access to over 300 supported games. Plus, you can monitor your device's performance, battery, Wi-Fi signal, even temperature, so nothing slows you down. And yeah, Exitlag isn't just about playing, it's about winning. Good news, you can grab Exitlag now and unlock over 20% off. Use the code AGC before it expires. Let's start big. Godslayer RPG is the kind of offline game that feels like it shouldn't even run on a phone. You've got massive bosses, gear upgrades, and a combat system that's actually satisfying instead of button mashy. What I like? You can sink hours into exploring dungeons, collecting loot, and building a character that actually feels powerful. And because it's offline, you don't get slapped with server maintenance just as you're about to land that finishing blow. If you've been craving a single-player RPG that feels like a console game in your pocket, this is the one to load up. Next up at number 9, Hippie Skate. Total tone shift here. Hippie Skate is your chilled-out escape when you're tired of shooting and grinding. Picture skateboarding through psychedelic cityscapes with funky visuals that look like a lava lamp exploded, but in a good way. The controls are smooth, tricks feel rewarding, and the vibe is just zen. It's less about high scores and more about the ride. Perfect offline filler when you want to kill 10 minutes or 2 hours without stressing over Wi-Fi. Next up, Judge Dredd. Now, let's talk about law, order, and explosions. Judge Dredd is pure comic book action in mobile form. You're literally playing as the man who is the law, tearing through dystopian streets full of criminals who probably deserve it. Offline shooters usually get repetitive, but Dredd keeps things fresh with different missions, weapons, and enemies that don't just fall over when you tap the screen. If you grew up loving the comics or just want a gritty action fix that doesn't eat data, this game's a no-brainer. At number 7, Captain Sabretooth. Every list needs a pirate game. Captain Sabretooth is a light-hearted swashbuckler that throws you into treasure hunts, ship battles, and cartoon-style adventures. Think Assassin's Creed Black Flag if it had fewer stabbing mechanics and way more charm. The best part? It's offline, so you can sail the seas anywhere, plane rides, bad commutes, or that one coffee shop that pretends it has Wi-Fi. If you want pirate vibes without going full hardcore, this one's gold. Halfway there at number 6, Nitro Highway. Nitro Highway is what happens when your phone decides to be a slot machine for adrenaline. It's endless racing, traffic dodging, and boost spamming action. You've got cars flying at you from every lane, and your only options are to thread the needle or crash spectacularly. What makes it worth playing offline is how quick and replayable it is. You can jump in, race for a few minutes, and still feel like you got something done. Perfect for bus rides or bathroom breaks. Yeah, you know what I mean. Next at number 5, World War Battle. Now for some old-school chaos. World War Battle puts you in the middle of offline firefights with tanks, planes, and boots-on-the-ground missions. It doesn't need multiplayer because it's all about giving you that war zone feeling right in your hands. You get different weapons, varied missions, and maps that don't feel copy-pasted. It's straightforward action with no loading screens that yell, "Please connect to the internet." A solid pick for anyone who wants offline mayhem. At number 4, Super Bear Adventure. Don't laugh. This game is actually fire. Super Bear Adventure looks like a cutesy platformer, but it's got charm, clever levels, and surprisingly fun mechanics. You play as a bear jumping across colorful worlds, bonking enemies, and collecting goodies like it's 1996 all over again. It feels like the mobile love child of Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, except you don't need a console or Wi-Fi. And honestly, it's one of the few games that makes offline gaming feel nostalgic instead of outdated. Next up, at number 3, Extreme Car Driving Simulator. This one's practically a classic at this point, but the updates keep it alive. Extreme Car Driving Simulator is the open-world sandbox where you just hop in cars and do dumb stuff. Crash physics, crazy stunts, and more. Why is this even possible? Moments than you can count. It's not about winning races, it's about freedom. You can treat it like a driving school or drive the wrong way at 300 km/h because, hey, no cops offline. Our runner-up, SWAT Shooter Police Action FPS. This is the power fantasy game. You're the SWAT officer breaking down doors, saving hostages, and blasting through enemies. It's quick-hit missions that feel satisfying, with tight gunplay that doesn't feel like rubber bullets. Because it's offline, it works great for pick-up-and-play sessions. You can grind a mission or two, put it down, and jump back in without worrying about losing progress. Perfect when you've got just 10 spare minutes but want something intense. And finally, at the top spot, Drift for Life. We started with an RPG and we're ending with tire smoke. Drift for Life is pure sideways madness. Customize your rides, hit the corners, and try not to spin out like me on my first attempt. Offline mode means it's all about the drift. No opponents lagging across the track, no connection issues. Just you, your car, and a whole lot of screeching tires. If you're into cars, this is the offline title that sticks the landing. So that's the top 10 best offline games for Android and iOS in 2025. From RPG epics to tire-burning drifters. Which one's getting downloaded first? Drop it in the comments because I actually check those. And before you bail, do two things. Hit like before your storage hits 0 and subscribe before Judge Dredd busts through your Wi-Fi router. Catch you in the next one.